Greetings, greetings, good people. Welcome to another video. We got a nice sunny day, though I got an umbrellas for blocking the wind, right? Now, I want to talk about understanding how to navigate the spiritual world and how sometimes you find yourself in situations where you realize that the devil thought he could be smart by putting certain people in places that are for stopping you from becoming a better person, right? From your family to your work boss, right? And it's all like when you do look at the bigger picture and do look at things from a deeper scale, you'll realize that it's like he thought by putting certain places, by putting certain people in places of authority can actually worked, which kind of like worked for a little bit of time, right? How sometimes maybe you saw your boss just going against you, right? Your landlord. And in worst case scenarios, I would say your parents, okay? And it's all part of the devil to stop you from getting to where God wants you, okay? But then it's like a two-way street, right? Because even God, your God, will allow such things to happen to also strengthen you, okay? He will allow you to get in situations where it is your boss that has a problem with you, right? And not that you are being a hindrance, or not that you're not just being a good employee, but because your boss just finds you to be a threat. And it gets crazier because you would sometimes wonder, because this person is in a place of where I could say they are doing better than me, why do they have a problem with me, right? And then when you do look deeper into it, you're like, sneaky devil, he thinks he is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your path is not designed to be easy, especially as the chosen one, right? As the one that God chose to accomplish certain missions, right? To go on a certain path. Usually, it's never really an easy path. I'll tell you that, right? It's a hard journey. And when I mean hard, I mean hard. Okay? It's not gonna be a smooth journey. It's not gonna be, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna go through a lot. That's one thing I have realized with this path. And it's like God wants you in certain places to experience certain things, to have people experience you in certain situations, right? And mostly it's like when you do surrender yourself to Him, He uses you as bait, kind of. He uses you to teach your opposition, which mostly do not believe in God and thinks that God is just a fairy tale, right? Or they just have a different understanding of who God is, okay? And He will use you to showcase his power and who he is through you, through your experiences as you walk this journey, right? But I want to say, yes, it's designed to stop you, right? When you go through the books of Psalms, there's actually a verse that talks about how your enemies are many, right? How it talks about how your enemies surround you. Now, that's exactly what's going on, okay? Because, as an empath, you are a high vibrational being. So, by you automatically being that, you attract evil beings as well, which are low vibrational beings, right? So they feel the need to come against you and stop you from getting to your destiny, right? And it's like, whoa. And I would say it's not gonna be a walk in a park, but you got backup, okay? You got backup that there are these people try harm you in any way that are not gonna come out clean, right? Now it gets deep, people. It gets deep, ladies and gentlemen, because now you have to fight this battle. And mind you, it's a life and death situation, right? It's a life it's a between life and death situation when it comes to understanding how the devil and spirituality, how the devil operates and how he tries to come against you and use the people around you, right, as pawns of stopping you and creating all these persecutions, finding yourself in situations where they try to shame you, mock you, gaslight you, what you call, provoke you to anger, right? Try have you in a position of a bad guy, though you know that you'd have no type of bad intentions toward everybody, and most of the time you're just a quiet person. You're like an introvert, right? And you just have these people who are like, who's this guy? Why is he so quiet? Okay, let's see how he reacts when he gets angry, right? Let's try put him in situations where he will have to he will have to defend himself, so we hear what he has to say. Okay, let's pay him late, and that's your boss speaking. Let's pay him late, right? And everybody else is paid. You're the only one who's not paid. And that I'm talking from experience. And that I'll tell you, most of God's people are experiencing as well, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you do learn to hear and understand God, He will help you navigate through all this, right? Your intuition, right? Your ability to endure deep situations and come out still alive. And when I mean alive, I mean physically and spiritually, right? It's not child's play. Okay. Now learn to listen to him and he will guide you through, whether it's through that through your intuition, that quiet voice within. I mean that that little voice within, right? That's always most of the time correct about things, right? Very accurate in most cases, right? Your dreams, right? Stay grounded, stay meditated, energize yourself, right? But then I'll tell you that your journey, ladies and gentlemen, is not gonna be an easy one because you would find opposition almost everywhere, right? And it's like he's just trying to make your journey hard, so maybe you give up on the way and say, nah, you can't do this anymore, right? But it's all designed to stop you. And why? Why you? That's the big question now. Why am I being stopped so much? You would see some people just their lives are just moving smoothly, they're getting nice jobs and they're working, driving big cars, and it seems like you are still stuck in the mud, in the in the in the in the um in the barrel with the crabs. You try you try escape, they pull you back in, right? Like we sense that there's something about you. So like we feel like if we were to let you get in this position, you would do wonders. So I think we should just keep you down here, right? So you just feed us with your energy, right? You become our energy banker. You become our lucky charm, right? And it's like people just don't want to see you in positions of prospering. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that it's a phase, it's a season that comes with pay attention, right? Learn, accumulate knowledge, and grow, right? And most, most, what's mostly important is healing, right? Because these demons want you breaking down and falling into depression, right? Hoping that you would give up and maybe some way, somehow you will take your own life, right? So you make the job easier for them. But then, like I said, find healing, evolve, seek knowledge, keep seeking God, pray, right? Then you'll get there, right? And because you have surrendered your life to God, God is using you as an example, right? To all these people. And He's teaching them at the same time, teaching you and building you at the same time, right? And it's like it's all for your own good. Okay. Now I didn't want to make this video too long. Let me just say stay prayed up, stay meditated, focus, listen to God. You know, He's always talking at all times. Now be blessed. Peace.